At Fred Hill.
Alright.
Yeah. Green light on? Is there green light on? Yeah. Won't be here? Oh.
May I have your attention, please? Eighth grade science Olympiad students need to go to Mr. Brown's
Yep,
class
good job.
at the beginning of seventh period. The tennis match for today has been
You gonna read?
canceled, and there will
Slide
be
next door
no
and read.
tennis practice today.
We're doing an activity.
Track has been canceled for today. There will be no baseball game tonight, also no baseball practice. Volleyball practice has been canceled for today. We'll practice tomorrow after school. I need the following students to the office: Dana Coffee, Artemis Clay, Daniel Doherty, Lily Elmore, Emma Evans, Tommy Evans, Shy Granger, Addie Gregory, Willie Guest, Lyndon Harris, Bailey Hill, Katie Jones, Jacqueline Mikett,
No, I need Zach. Where's
Sadie
Zach?
Tom, Douglas Surgery, Kiara Owens, Andy Sloan, and Julie Belfield. Come to the office, please.
Sorry about
So I'll just go to second room for break today.
that. You can go to break if you prefer.
And then if you want me to do this, I'll stay.
That's okay. Okay, what's that board say?
Quicker.
Let me read it to you. It says, read each scenario and silently to yourself on a blank sheet of paper which I've handed you. Write down what you feel like is the defense mechanism that each student is showing. Okay? There's not,
What's up?
a defense mechanism, you don't know yet. We're gonna talk about it. So you're gonna base it on what you think it is. Okay?
Is there right or wrong?
One thing,
We're gonna have a chance at the end of the period to change it if we think we have the wrong answer. That's what we talk about it.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes, sir.
One of our classes, we talked about that.
Then you should get all these right. Uh-oh.
Like, if I even stay in this one.
Hey, there's people sitting behind you that can't see if you're standing up. If you're gonna stand up, just scoot behind Floyd. Make sure you can see the students on that.
Is that Michelle or mine?
Michelle, Michael has an A in it.
I can't get everybody.
That's okay. I'm gonna give you about 4 more minutes. Where's Corey?
I know, but let's see the question.
Sure. All right, Matt. No, that's okay.
No, she was a little bit.
Katie Jones, come to the office, please. Katie Jones.
out loud, I can. Throw that.
Yeah.
Okay, number 1 says, Tony often lies about incidents when he feels threatened or like he might end up in trouble. So what do you think the defense mechanism is for that? Don't answer out loud, answer on your paper.
You got a pencil.
What's a defensive?
We're gonna talk about it. So right now, we're gonna go back and change our answers at the end of the class period. Okay? After we talk about what they are.
Hey, since the game is on Saturday, are we gonna like meet up here and we go there? So could I just like
11:30,
leave,
11:15, something like that.
could I just like leave my baseball bag in there for them?
Number 2 says, Michelle becomes violently angry when she is called to the principal's office, regardless of why she's there.
I actually sold 14 kids.
Never mind.
Yeah.
How much mom buy? Huh? How much did mom buy? Yeah, that's right. She bought 8 or 9. It don't count as selling 10.
Oh, yes, it is.
See you tomorrow.
Wait, we got practice tomorrow?
Right after school. Number 3, Joseph often talks about drinking and drug usage when in a group setting while other friends are sharing experiences.
Who's that man?
What?
I don't know what that.
Okay. So it says Joseph, like if you're talking about video games, maybe I'll walk around, or Joseph walks around talking about getting high, doing drugs, or drinking, or missing curfew, things like that.
What if I don't get them all done?
You get as far as you can, you should get them all done. Number 4, when being called on to answer a question, John simply ignored the teacher and refused to acknowledge her or her question. So if the teacher's talking to him, he just ignores her. She starts yelling at him because he's not doing his work, and he just stares. Doesn't say anything, he's not disrespectful. Did you do anything about keeping Corey up there? You got Corey? Is he doing something up there? Yeah. Okay, alright. Number 5. When being critiqued, Bill often raises his voice and becomes very angry, very defensive, often shouting, "I don't care." Okay? So, critique means somebody's trying to help you with what you're doing. Alright, so if I said, that math problem's wrong, here's what you need, and you become defensive and saying, that's not wrong, why is it, I don't know how to do it anyway, it's stupid. And then you shout out, "I don't care." Alright? Once you get all those finished, just put it to the side.
Can we draw on the back? I got 2.
That's okay. Just slide it underneath it. Does anybody need more time? One more, how long? 1 more minute? That'll do, alright.
The back of the sheet.
That'll do. Okay, as we're talking about defense mechanisms, try to relate everything back to one of the, pick a scenario, try to relate it back to it. take that one extra minute, Zach, alright?
I wrote on my worksheet.
You ready? Alright, I need a volunteer to read this definition for me. Anybody? Anthony, go ahead. The one that's highlighted in
A
blue.
defense mechanism is a coping technique that reduces anxiety arising from unacceptable or potentially harmful stimuli.
Alright, stop right there. So it says a defense mechanism is a coping strategy or technique that reduces anxiety arising from an unacceptable or potentially harmful stimuli. Alright? So that means it's a way that you cope with something that's happening to you. Good or bad. Unacceptable would be bad, right? Or potentially harmful. Go ahead and read the rest of it.
The defense mechanisms are unconscious and are not to be confused with conscious coping strategies. Some
Sigmund Freud, he was a not a philosopher, but a psychologist.
was one of the first
Opponents of this construct. It did, we don't have, that's not potential. So, while we're talking about this, why'd you get in trouble over it? First period. What happened? It's not what I heard. Shouldn't you remember something like that? Well, why don't he come to me and say that? We just had this talk, man, I don't understand. Help me understand. Why you keep making these choices? So he's not Mr. Brown's line? Okay. And I'll go to him and tell him he's lying. You sure? Alright. Alex, what was your defense mechanism right there? Yeah, denial, right? And then, yes, I did. Alright, so that's what a defense mechanism is. Did you know you were doing that at the time? No. Did you know you were doing that at the time, that you were doing a defense mechanism? Not really. Alright, and a lot of it depends on who we're talking to. If we're talking to mom or dad, it's going to sound a lot different when we know we're going to get in trouble or we know something bad may happen to us. When we deny or put up our defense mechanism, it may be a lot different than if it was Miss Tyree or Mr. Porter, right? Mom and Dad, you're more comfortable around. You're gonna probably say more stuff than you would if it was somebody with authority like a principal. Okay, so a defense mechanism is how you respond or act during something that's good or bad. So think about this. All right, we're going to do an activity here in just a second. Let me get this. All right. So think about this. How do you respond or act when you feel disrespected? Is it the same way you feel when you're frustrated or angry? Okay? When you lose, like if you lose a baseball game, if you lose a baseball game, I don't particularly take it very well. but I may take it worse than somebody else, or make a mistake, or embarrassed. Embarrassed is a huge one. Alright? 4 steps to control your defense mechanism. These are signs that you are in a pressure situation. You feel angry, frustrated, or nervous. What behaviors can I use to help control the pressure? So let's talk about some coping strategies that are positive. Okay? Let's say I'm feeling angry, Courtney. Not that you would ever feel angry. I feel angry a lot, but you wouldn't. But let's just say you do. Okay? What behavior can you use to help control that pressure? The pressure of feeling angry. What's something you can do? Tie your shoelaces, right? Walk. Awesome. What's another one, Zach?
Walk
Cherry?
away.
Huh?
Like walk away.
Walk away. Okay? What if you're in a classroom and you're not understanding how to work the problem, and you're feeling frustrated? You can't just get up and walk out of class. Lily?
Ask to like step out of the classroom.
Okay. Ask for a break. Good. Okay, feeling, identify, comment, express it. What are situations I need to practice this? That's just things we could do to you, kind of like what I did to Alex when I accused him of something. All right. Sometimes we need people to put us in that situation so we can practice using the other ones. All right. Don't let other people choose or control how you respond. The signs are someone's yelling at you, you're physically attacked, you're put down. What can happen when you stay in control? Have you ever been mad at a boyfriend or girlfriend and you're arguing with them and you're mad and you're yelling at them and they act like basically they act like they don't care? What's that make you?
Really irritated.
Even more mad, right? So if you're sitting there telling your boyfriend how you feel and he's acting like it's no big deal, are you going to be okay with that, or are you going to be even more mad? More mad. All right? So what could happen when you stay in control? Well, obviously things can get better. So what we're going to do, I'm going to hand you a shield. Looks something similar to that. I want you to, on this side here, I did put positive and negative on here, but I should have. Okay? List or draw, or some of you guys that like to draw, and I was hoping Corey was in here because he loves to draw. Draw some, or list some ways that you act negatively. What some of your negative defense mechanisms are. Some of us put our head down. Some of us clench our fists. Some of us become argumentative. Angry. So just on your paper, write positive and negative where that is.
We're writing 18 hearts.
No.
Teachers, pardon the interruption. Just want to repeat, tennis, baseball, and track have been canceled today. Tennis, baseball, and track have been canceled today.
You get phone calls from parents asking.
And volleyball. And softball.
She said volleyball, didn't she?
Earlier, yeah.
All right. Alex asked a good question. Do we put easy and hard on there? No. Think about it. It's easy to get mad. Right?
Yeah.
It's a whole lot easier to get mad and get in a fight or to say something disrespectful or curse at somebody than it is to walk away or to say, okay, I understand. That's why positive is hard. It gives you self-respect. Well, why? Because then it makes you do the right thing. You're doing the right thing. So self-respect may not be the best word. I would probably choose builds character. All right, because character is how you act in sticky situations. take about 5 or 10 minutes and come up, let's try to list or draw. What do you think? What's a good number?
2.
3 and 3, how about that?
Yeah.
About 5.
5, alright, so 3 to 5.
What about, like, 2 drawings and, like, 3 lit?
Sure. Now, what you could do is for each negative, so let's say put curse, and over here, my positive to that would be breathe and practice self-talk. Alright, so if I'm getting ready to cuss somebody out, I may say to myself, I probably don't need to do that. What's gonna happen if I cuss? Sure, I'm gonna get back at him for making me mad, but if the teacher hears me cuss, I'm gonna get in a lot more trouble than he is. Right? So self-talk and breathe. So that's what I want. For each negative, you're gonna put a positive. So if you come up with 3 negatives, how many positives should you have? Boom. You're a lot smarter than you look. I don't care what nobody says. Like I said, if you'd rather draw, then that's okay too. You may show yourself throwing a book. Draw a person throwing a book. Alright? Nobody's gonna judge you. We all do it. Alright? When I get mad at my wife, I start slamming stuff. Like if she tells me I don't put the dishes away, I start putting dishes away, but I slam the cabinets when I do it. Or I kind of just, she says I have a smirk on my face when I'm mad, but I don't tell her what I'm mad about. Which is probably true, right? I can see people laughing about it. They know me pretty well. Alright, so I'm going to need everybody to do this, please.
Can't think of it.
Hey, when I knock on the door, somebody comes and say, come on in.
She told us not to. She told us to leave you out there.
Sorry.
We all have defense mechanisms. If you would, if you're okay with people knowing what yours is, you're feel free to ask me. I think I've dealt with all you guys in pressure situations. Can you say? How many of you guys need more time?
I just need like I got
Can you explain your drawing?
yeah.
Okay. What, I'm sorry, what did you need?
I was just gonna tell you while I'm almost finished.
Okay, alright. Who needs more time?
Me.
Me.
Okay. Everybody else is done?
I'm confused on numbers.
Alright. We're gonna list our personal defense mechanisms. Okay? There's an example up there. If somebody's saying something to me I don't like, or it makes me feel uncomfortable or uneasy, a negative response, a negative defense mechanism may be to cuss at them. I'll show them who's big and bad, right? But a positive one would be to breathe and practice self-talk. So talking yourself through it and not cussing would be a positive defense mechanism. A lot of people, you'll see them start, they'll start looking. There's actually psychologists that figured out there's a way that you look. Whenever you're telling the truth, you'll look up into a certain way, right or left. That means you're telling the truth. If you look up and to the opposite side, it means you're trying to make up something and you're lying. They actually, police practice that. All right, they take classes on stuff like that, being able to read you. I think it's a lot easier than that. You can see, if it's the truth, it's really easy to come off. If it's not, then I'm sitting here. Well, I know it's not true. All right, but I know several of your guys' defense mechanisms. Does anybody want to share? Nobody wants to share, Ethan? Zach does. All right. What's yours? You gotta say it loud.
I draw a picture of someone stabbing someone with a hammer,
Someone stabbing somebody with a hammer.
sticking up a hammer,
Okay. Why?
for anger.
They're angry, so they explode in anger. What would be a positive way to handle that?
Breathe calmly.
Breathe calmly. Sometimes breathing don't work. Then what could you do?
Yourself.
Don't hit yourself. That's not positive. You can lock your hammers away.
Walk away.
Walk away. There you go.
Sometimes you walk away.
Josh,
I said accept the consequence.
accept consequences. What would be your negative to that though? Like,
Like if a teacher says that you got this problem wrong,
okay.
and you'll just, instead of saying no I didn't, or talking back to them, just say okay and
Sure.
fix it.
Awesome. Because they're trying to do what?
Help.
They're trying to help you. Matt, what do you got? When you talk about your defense mechanisms, let's try to relate it to ourselves. So I would relate it to me, Alex would relate it to him. Let's see if you can relate one to yourself.
As in, like at home, like a serious.
At home or at school or whatever. Let's talk about yesterday. When you and I were semi-confrontational, right? What was your defense mechanism, you think?
The negative way or the positive
The
way?
negative way.
Negative way.
We got it to the positive world, right?
Raising my head, or sitting there. The negative way would be raising my voice.
Exactly. Raising your voice and continuing to put your head down, mumbling, right? Which kind of leads to disrespect. What was the positive thing you did after we talked about it a little bit?
I explained what happened.
Exactly. Just explaining the situation. Sometimes just a miscommunication is the problem. Lily, what'd you get? I can't wait to hear yours.
I said for negative, like argumentative,
You become argumentative,
yeah.
all right?
And then a positive could be like take a break.
Take a break, all right? Let's talk. What's that L word that a lot of people do?
Lie,
Lie. If they think they're about to get in trouble, what do?
lie.
Lie or cry. That's a defense mechanism. If I lie or cry, they're not going to be as mad at me, or especially if I cry.
Or run.
Yeah, well, run. That leads to more severe punishment, right? You run away, what happens when they catch you?
You get even more time.
Yes.
Plus added on to what you would have had to do.
Exactly. My son really loves watching cops right now. He's got it set in his head he's going to be a cop. All right? So we'll watch videos and you'll see these guys take off running. And of course, cops have what? Guns and tasers. So they flee and evade for 30 minutes, cause multiple wrecks, then they blow out their tires or whatever, and they wreck. They get arrested or tased or both. And then they have to go back and pay for all that damage, for all that stuff. Then they get more charges tacked onto them. All right? For what? Sometimes there's some on there that run because they're drinking and driving, or they run because their license is expired. Crazy stuff. Yeah.
Can I share mine?
Yes.
I put you could count your fingers, but if there's negative way to handle doing like in a situation where you and a friend are in an argument, and this is a bad way of doing it. It's saying let's fight.
Before that, his insurance card ran out.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to where we started. Now let's go down through there and re-answer those, knowing what we know about defense mechanisms. So for number one, Tony often lies about incidents when he feels threatened or like he might end up in trouble. We're going to do this one together. What's his defense mechanism? Lying. Perfect. All right. Go do number 2, 3, 4, and 5 for me on your paper. So you should have 2 sets of answers. Just don't move.
Teachers, lessons report, you may dismiss when ready.
It's okay. Go through and change your answers if you want to change them. If you think you still have the same answers, yes, sir. Okay.
And I wrote on the back of my homework sheet.
So take it home and erase it. If you don't want to change your answers, leave your papers with your answers on your desk so I can take them up and look at them.
I only got just writing this part.
Just copy your answers from the back of your homework to this. Huh?
No, we got no.
If you're finished, yes. Make sure you leave those papers on the thing.